I found out my mom was texting my boyfriend and telling him everything I did every single day. You might think it's not weird, but it is weird. A little backstory, I met my boyfriend on Facebook. I was 16 years old. I'm 25 now, so do the math. I don't even think Tinder was like a thing back then. We talked for a few months before we told my mom that we wanted to date. She wasn't really happy about it, which was very interesting because my sister was 12 years old and she was dating a 26-year-old. But that's neither here or there. That's when my life started getting even worse than it already was, as I mentioned in my previous video. Like, why let me have a boyfriend if you're gonna be about it anyways? So when my sister turned 13, she moved out with her boyfriend. She got married. It's called in Dominican Republic getting married when you move out with your boyfriend. I'm saying this because her boyfriend and my boyfriend were kind of like friends. Obviously, you're dating sisters. A couple months go by and I had a somewhat relationship with my sister, but it wasn't like the best. We talked because we had to talk. When she moved out, she completely like cut me off, which I give 0. So one day, my boyfriend at the time, he starts asking me questions, like things that I've never told him and that he doesn't know that my mom told him. Like, he would question why I was friends with my best friend at the time and telling me that she was a whore and she wasn't the best person to be around. Little did I know that it wasn't exactly coming directly from him. It was coming from my mom, but he didn't tell me at the time. Fast forward, my womb rental owner asked me to do something like on her phone. And I was doing that and then I see a message from him like pop up, like a notification. So I go into her WhatsApp because we use a lot of WhatsApp, not like instant message in DR. So I went into her chat and she was telling him literally every time I left my house, who I was with, who I talked to around our neighborhood, like literally every single move. To the point where she said she doesn't deserve you. So I immediately gave her her phone and I didn't say anything to him because I wanted to see if he would tell me himself. I'm running out of time, go to part 2. Fast forward, he started acting like very insecure in our relationship and he wanted to have my phone password, my Facebook password, my Instagram password. He wanted to check my WhatsApp all the time. He just started getting very controlling, wanted to know 24/7 where I was. And I'm like, no, this is not no, I already live hell in my house. I don't need you to also, He started going to my house every single night. I would only see him on weekends, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I was at the point where I saw him every single day during all hours without me even knowing that he was going to my house. He would just randomly appear. Till after I moved out, he told me that my mom would tell him every single one of my moves, everywhere I went, everyone I talked to, and that she was telling him that I was talking to someone else while dating him. And from there, he started telling me every single thing she told him. She told him that I wasn't good enough for him and that he needed to find a better girlfriend. He told me that my sister's boyfriend was also in on it and they were all just feeding him lies about me and that he was very sorry that he actually believed it. And I'm like, how crazy is that? He knew everything. He knew how hard it was for us to even go out on a date and go to a restaurant or even meeting his mom. It was crazy. Anyways, my mom got his phone number through my sister's boyfriend because she asked him to get it for her. Anyways, we ended up breaking up because he slapped me, but that's for a whole other story. And even after all of that, I still tried to have a relationship with my mom. And she just kept it up every single time. And now she asks why I don't talk to her. Yes, she is a narcissist. And in her eyes, everyone else is the problem. And she's not. I can honestly write a book about the things that have happened to me in my life. There's no way I would treat anyone, especially my daughter, the way my mom treated me.
Story time about how I lost my virginity to my sister's boyfriend. Disclaimer, is not my story time. It's on Instagram. Please give me a chance before you judge me. I'm 23 years old and I've never been kissed. Don't get me wrong, I have been chased by boys pretty much my whole entire life since I was a kid. But my sister and I have really strict parents. My sister is older than me, she's 25. But for some reason, my dad is way more strict with me. My sister and I are beautiful girls. My dad's always told me that I'm too pretty for my own good. When I was a teenager, I really didn't understand that. But judging by the amount of guys that are always trying to hook up with me, I understand him. My mom is a little bit more lenient. She would allow my sister and I to go out on the weekends without my dad knowing. Honestly, this has caused me to be afraid of guys. Anytime a guy approaches me, no matter how cute he is, I become painfully shy. And I'm actually scared of them. I assume that they're only going to try to take advantage of me because that's all I've ever heard from my dad. Well, the plan backfired on my father because as soon as I became comfortable with a man, I lost my V card to him. And unfortunately, it was my sister's boyfriend. My sister met this guy 6 months ago. He came over to our house and begged my father to let him date my sister. And he's really hot. Part 2 is up. Story time about how I lost my virginity to my sister's boyfriend. Disclaimer, is not my story time, it's sent me on Instagram. That's when my sister's boyfriend begged my father to let him date my sister. Because my dad is so strict, he actually took this guy to the police station and asked the police officers if he had a record. Luckily, he was totally clean. It took a couple of weeks for my dad to accept this guy. Eventually, when my father approved of him, he started coming over to our house and obviously I was interacting a lot with him. My sister was really excited to have a boyfriend and I was really excited for her to have a boyfriend. Now it was my turn. I asked my dad if I could start dating and he said absolutely not. Mind you, I'm 23 years old and I've never even been kissed. This is where I start feeling like because my sister loves me, she started inviting me to some of her dates with her boyfriend. And I would tag along because I was bored at home. And slowly but surely, I started having a crush on her boyfriend. He was the kind of guy that I would want to date. He was extremely handsome, already had a full thriving career, went to a great school, had a great sense of humor, and was just fun to be around. I started having dreams about him, and I started thinking about him all the time. And every time he would come over to our house, I got butterflies. I was falling for him. Part 3 is up. Story time about how I lost my virginity to my sister's boyfriend. Disclaimer, is not my story time, it's on Instagram. That's when I started having dreams about my sister's boyfriend. And not just any dreams, like, you know what I mean. I was having night sweats. It got to the point that anytime he would give me a hug to say hello, I would just hold on really tight. This is when he started noticing that I was getting feelings for him. Anytime he would look my way, I was already looking at him. And then slowly, he started looking at me. And here's the plot twist. My sister met another guy. She came home from a party one night and told me that she made out with some random guy. Apparently, this guy was like the man of her dreams. So she just decided to start cheating on her boyfriend. So I knew it was time for me to swoop in. I went over to his place and told him that my sister was cheating on him. I know, I'm terrible, right? That's when we started kissing and we did it. The next day, my sister tells me she regrets cheating on him and that she wants to be with him. Neither him or I have the heart to tell my sister what we did. So confused. I do want him, but of course my sister's feelings come first. I'm stuck here. What should I do?
Am I wrong for singing a song to my wife at our wedding and making her angry? I just got married last week. My wife and I are both in our 30s. I am Mexican, she's American, but we both grew up in the US and both of our families know both languages. My wife planned every bit of the wedding and was very controlling and a nervous bride. But alright, I get that she was stressed. During the reception, I went to the band and asked them to play a song for me to sing to my new wife. It was Te Amare by Miguel Bosé. It was a song from our first date in a really bad Mexican restaurant, so it became a long-standing joke between us. The guest really loved the song. My mother-in-law cried and told me it was beautiful, but my bride seemed upset. I asked her what was wrong and she said that we're taking the spotlight to enforce my ethnicity and not just let the band sing our song for us.